exciting
I already
edition.
did this.
I don't care.
I did this first.
Wait,
Actually,
hold on.
technically, you did this first, but
I got a question. Hold on. Did the show reset? Like, are we starting over, or are
Yes.
we just picking up where we left off? So
No.
we're reset.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so I was doing the right thing with the intro. Okay, good
Welcome,
evening, ladies and gentlemen.
We are back on Sunday Night Madness.
And we have a fantastic show lined up for you guys. We really do apologize about the late start, but I was getting my nerdgasm on with Avengers Endgame, and it was absolutely fantastic movie. We will be discussing spoilers for that movie
I've not seen it.
at shut up at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So in about 27 minutes, we're going to cut to a little break. When we come back from that break, we're going to start talking about the Avengers Endgame. So if you do not want to be spoiled,
If you haven't seen it
if
yet.
you have not seen it, and you don't want spoilers, you guys can, of course, tune out during that period of time. Of course, we prefer that you didn't, but it is something that we, as nerds, are going to want to discuss with some length. So that will be happening at 9 o'clock Eastern time. We will be discussing those spoilers. So
Take that time in your lives to
About 20
either
minutes.
touch yourselves or touch someone else, someone special to you,
About-
not even special. I don't even.
yeah, it
care.
doesn't have to be special.
Yeah,
like it
just-
can be yourself.
you're right,
you know,
well,
and we all know you're not
no,
special. so.
Yourself was the first thing I said.
Oh, well, okay.
Wow. This is the beginning of our fantastic show that we have lined up for you today.
Well, yeah, I wasn't ready for this. I wasn't ready.
You weren't ready for a fantastic show?
It's been 3 fucking weeks and I wasn't ready. We are going to be discussing other things besides the spoilers for Infinity War, such as why you should never go limp noodle when the bouncer is trying to walk you outside. Why that's a poor and terrible idea. Why you should
everybody
not
knows that.
Why you should not bring your empowerment politics into a bar setting,
Or
another
religion.
fun time. Or religion for that matter.
Pretend like if you're going out to a bar, pretend like you're going on your first date. Don't talk about religion. Don't talk about politics.
Well, in fairness, I mean,
No,
I kind of
no.
want to know. I kind of want to know, like, is she Satanist? Because that's probably going to be a deal breaker.
Well, I mean,
not
here's the
necessarily.
thing. No,
mind
Chris,
you, not
I want
necessarily,
to
just
point this out to you, man.
point it out.
Like, there are Satanists. Satanism is not what you think it is. People do not draw circles and a star on the ground and worship Satan.
First of all, I know what Satanism actually is. That's why I said it's not necessarily a deal breaker.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I was saying that for the rest of our audience that may or may not know or care.
This is true.
Yeah,
Most Satanists are actually pretty decent human beings. It's just a
Yeah, they follow a specific set of rules. You know.
It's a humanist.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
it
basic.
is.
That's
It's
exactly what it is.
humanism in a religious form.
Right.
There
And
you
the
go.
reason they actually call it Satanism ultimately is to basically disparage the whole idea of organized religion.
to a point, yeah.
Yeah.
While they themselves are organized. But, whatever.
Well, you know.
Yeah, Todd McVeigh.
Well, here's the thing.
Hotel California. What? Go ahead.
Literally, the only thing that is not an organized religion at this point in time would be atheism, and that's just disorganized religion.
Also agree. It's a cult, though.
Yes.
I do know a lot of atheists who meet together and
Oh,
Have
so
atheist
it's
meetings?
they've
it's
started
an
to
organized
organize.
religion.
Yeah, they
Okay,
started to organize.
Fantastic.
So it's a cult.
Yes.
I mean, if they're not worshiping anything, then it's a cult.
Well, for all of Chris's friends, or all of Topher's friends that organize for their atheism,
Most of us are
I'm just saying-
Thelemites.
all I'm trying to say is don't drink the Kool-Aid if Chris offers it to you. We know it's bad.
In the defense of atheists, most organized religions are also cults.
Yeah,
So,
no,
I
it
mean,
absolutely is.
it's fun times. So yeah, and we're going to talk about some absolutely ridiculous shit. See, already you guys are learning things. You tuned into the show, and we are educating you on the finer points of religion.
And worshiping at the foot of Aleister Crowley.
Right, and
With-
of course,
with
Mr.
the-
Crowley.
With
Thank you for giving me
Thelema.
as we try to somehow insert Cthulhu into
I'm
every
so
show.
sorry.
Thelema
No,
is not Cthulhu.
I'm
whatever.
sorry.
It's
I
not.
heard. I heard
Lovecraft, shut the fuck up.
I honestly heard something about worshiping at the feet of Cthulhu or feet of Crowley with a llama. I didn't. I had no idea what you said. I just
Thelema.
kinda,
Llama.
llama.
For those of you who are part of our Patreon, you would have seen me do the drama llama just now.
What? I didn't see it.
Llama.
Llama. Oh, llama.
And then there's
Llama dabba ding dong.
La Sabla.
What?
La Sabla.
Yeah, nobody can hear you.
Yeah, I
Your
know.
face isn't in the mic.
Because I can't
Eat
get
the
both hands
fucking
up on
mic.
it. I don't want to.
Oh, deep throat that bitch.
You're way better at that than I am, though. I'll leave it to the professionals. Thanks.
Well, clearly I'm not. I can't even suck a fucking.
I'm just gonna.
I lost my train of
I'm
thought.
just gonna leave that out.
Phrasing.
There you go.
Oh, it was phrased correctly, sir.
I said what I meant, fucker.
Dick nuts.
So yeah, we're just gonna kick right off on that, and we're not gonna touch that one. We're gonna leave it alone. Don't do it.
Sorry, I was picturing
Whore
Whore Island.
Whore Island sounds like a fantastic place.
By the way, notice where my hand is.
I don't want
I've
to
got
touch
one
it.
hand up here. I told you I was going to be touching myself, so
He is in
we're
fact
just touching
himself.
on it.
But yeah, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/GP Network. That's PATREON/G as in golf, P as in Papa Network. Going to that website will bring you to our page where you can donate at the level of $2, $5, and $10. If you like what we have to talk about, you like the things that we do, consider joining us at the $2 level, which is basically the equivalent of buying me a beer. Yeah, well,
I'm not yelling white girl wasted. I'm not doing it.
That's it. You don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to.
All right.
The $2 level is just, you like what I have to say. You want to sit down and drink a beer with me?
Sure.
Hey, you can't reach me. Donate $2. That's my beer. And then
Yeah,
we can sit there
absolutely.
and talk about it.
Yeah, right.
$5 level, you buy me a shot. That's if you want to get me really trashed.
Mm-hmm.
And then $10 is the White Girl Wasted.
So here's the deal, too. If you are sick and tired of hearing Chris and
Yes.
T and Topher and myself talking about our Patreon,
Then join it.
don't tune out. Just join the Patreon, and we will shut the fuck up.
At the $10 level, we will shout you out. The $5 level will get you, $2 level will get you access to the camera. The $5 level gets you discounts on merchandise as well as access to that camera. $10 gets you all of the above. Plus, we will shout you out on the show and tell everybody how absolutely amazing you are.
Or if you're local, we will possibly bring you on the show
Possibly
and make fun
introduce
of
you
you
as
like
a
we
spot.
do with each other.
And you get access to the Q&As and
Yes.
whatnot with that we have with, you can ask questions like, is the reason you grow your beard out that way to hide the vagina on your face?
Absolutely.
Everybody knows
100%.
that. Everybody knows the answer for that.
100%. It's actually to hide the ball chin.
Yeah, dude, I don't even want to hear your shit because, like, I have shaved my beard and I swear I have a butt chin. So,
It's also to
and
hide the
I'm-
waddle.
Oh yeah. So, funny story.
Once upon a time.
Several years ago, Chris and his ex-fiance threw a Halloween
I knew
party.
you were telling the story the minute we started talking about shaving my beard.
Yeah, threw a Halloween party, and it was superhero themed.
It was.
Well, it was supposed to be superhero themed. Most people actually followed the script and went as some sort of a superhero. His fiance dressed up as Wonder Woman. I dressed up as the Joker.
She
from
was- she
yeah,
did good. She did
she
good as
did.
Wonder
She
Woman. I'll
did.
give her
Actually,
credit.
she absolutely
She
did.
made her own costume and
She
everything.
really
It was
did.
great.
Anyway, I dressed up as Heath Ledger's Joker.
Which is good.
Chris dressed up as Clark Kent in transition to becoming Superman.
Correct.
So he shaved his
This is funny because in this day and
I'm
age,
gonna
that
say-
takes on a whole new meaning.
Yeah, I was
because
gonna say,
I was
like-
transitioning Superman.
Yes.
Because like Clark Kent transitioning to Claire Kent.
Yeah, right, yeah, well, Anyway, so Chris shaved his beard. He shaved, like, everything. He even got the little hair swoopy thing going on, and he put his Buddy Holly glasses on, and I shit you not, he looked like fat Drew, or like he looked like Superman Drew Carey.
I did. I looked like Drew Carey cosplaying as Superman. That's
Yeah, exactly.
What it looked like.
There are pictures.
There are.
There
I
are
actually-
absolutely pictures.
T and Misty were at their house. T were at T's house,
Right.
And we were talking about Drew Carey, and I brought that up, and I said I have pictures I need to show you, and I can't remember if it was on my profile or yours.
It probably on mine.
I think it
or
was on
both.
yours.
It might be on both. I'm not
I
really
think
sure.
I'm tagged in it. So I went through and I looked at it. And I showed them the picture, and Misty fell out of her chair laughing. She's like, "Oh my god, you do!"
I was the one that actually put it out. I was like, dude, you look like Drew Carey.
I haven't been able.
And
to
you were
see
like,
that
I hate
since
you.
then.
I
did.
fucking hate you.
I still hate you. Over
I
that.
know you do. Well, you don't hate me over that. You just hate me straight up.
Well, yeah, I said the hate started long before that.
yeah.
But yeah, so it looked like I know.
No. The hate
Keep
started.
saying Fat Drew Carey, by the way.
Right,
I
same here.
I'm like, I look like Fat Drew Carey. And
Well,
I'm like,
here's
wait a
the
minute.
thing, though. If you actually, Drew Carey's not fat anymore, dude.
Yeah, he's
He's
I don't
lost a
think he
lot
did.
of
He
weight.
did
Like,
lose a lot.
I mean, I'm fatter than Drew Carey now.
That's fair. So I guess
I
is
get
in fact
called
Fat Drew Carey.
I get called the Fat Dom DeLuise.
The Fat Dom DeLuise.
Dom DeLuise was never skinny.
Right.
Well,
Well, he is now.
now, yeah.
He is now.
Well, he finally.
Or is that too soon?
Well,
Is
no.
that-
All you have to think about is he lived his life as mirth. He went backwards, and he died as a baby. Okay, it just happens.
Fantastic. Too
Sorry,
soon.
that's a that is,
Is that too soon?
that's not a Benjamin Button joke. That is a
Just a butt
Mork
joke?
and Mindy. What?
Mork and Mindy reference.
Mork and Mindy reference. By the way, I did actually finally watch Benjamin Button the other day.
Did you really? You've never seen that
No,
before?
I've never seen it before.
It is a.
It is fantastic, actually. I really enjoyed it. If you've never seen Benjamin Button, I definitely recommend seeing it.
Meet Joe Black is another movie that was. If you don't watch it in its entirety, you watch it like 20 minutes at a time. It's fine.
Well, Meet Joe Black has one of the probably one of the best scenes in it. Coming from somebody who's actually been hit by 6 cars.
Right.
When he's walking across the street, he gets hit by one car, and another car comes and hits him again. So he gets hit by 2 cars in succession and just flies off the screen. It was hilarious.
It was.
It was.
very
I mean,
funny.
like I cried because I was laughing so hard. Like,
Yeah.
I shit you not. It wasn't emotional to me. It was just funny.
I've done that. This is the end. Remember we
Yeah.
watched that and we laughed so hard that we were literally in tears. Like we had to rewind it.
The best
several times
part,
to go
the
back.
best part. Chris and I actually went to go see the movie This Is the End in theaters,
Yes, we did.
and it starts off pretty fucking slow.
It did.
So, and Chris is sitting here going,
My first comment was, "What is this? A Netflix movie?"
"Yeah,
Right.
Well, we're sitting there watching this movie, and it's doing its slow thing, and Chris is like, "Dude, I got to shit."
I did, too. I
I'm like,
couldn't
"Can you
hold it. I was
hold
like,
it?"
I
And he's
gotta
like,
go.
"No, I got to go." So he gets up. I watch him walk down the stairs. I watch him walk towards the door, and I watch him disappear. And
I didn't leave the
by
theater
the
yet.
point in time where he reaches the door for this theater, all fucking hell breaks loose
Yes, it
in
did.
that movie, and I'm just laughing my ass off because I know Chris just left and he's going to take.
I
shit.
saw the initial explosion. I looked at the screen. And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I've already committed to taking the shit. There's no turning back now. Like my body is like, dude, nope. You said we were going, and I'm like, I know. I said we're going. We're going. But I looked up at the screen. I flipped off the screen and I walked out the theater. And, probably took the most rushed shit that I've ever taken.
And Chris can attest to this. He comes back. I'm in tears, laughing my ass off, not because of the movie, but because of that. And he asked me, "Dude, what did I miss?" And I'm like, "I can't even tell you."
Everything,
Yeah.
like the entire plot of the movie.
Right.
So from that point on, it was just dick and fart jokes that I was laughing at because I didn't understand. I was like, "What actually happened?" He was like, "It's just these things and the people, and this is what happened." And I'm like, "Doesn't make any fucking sense." He's like, "It's a thing. It's just
Deal with it. Just watch the
Just
damn
watch
movie.
the
Shut
movie.
up.
Michael Cera's sweet ass." I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. So that was definitely a movie that we laughed so hard we cried, and then the day it came out, we bought it and watched it again.
Yeah. And he
Several
finally
times.
got to see the actual
Right.
plot of the movie, so it was great.
It makes so much less sense.
Yeah, right?
Right. Like I was fine not having that part. It was cool.
Hey, if anybody's going to rape Emma Watson, it's going to be Jay.
It's gonna be Jay. I'm so not a raper. It's such a stupid and then the best part about that is that type of comedy is my favorite. So it's sitcom
Yeah, it really
because
is.
it's 100% situationally based comedy.
Yeah.
But it's what you would imagine you would do in these scenarios. Like there's the guy who's I'm a big fucking hero and I'm gonna go do these things and he just gets obliterated because it's
Immediately.
the forces of hell. What are you gonna do, dude?
Right.
Then you've got the dude this totally selfish, just like, dude, I just want to live. I just want to be alive. I don't want to do anything stupid. Like, do we have to forage for food? Like, do we have to go across the street? Do we have to do those things? Like, you got the chicken shit. You got the brave one. You got the weird one, which of course was.
Then you've got what is his name? I can't remember the actor's name. Danny McBride.
Danny McBride. That's what I was
Who is
getting
the
at.
absolute-
The weird one.
No, he was the opportunist. I mean, let's face it. He was an opportunist.
He
in that
was the
movie.
maker of the group.
Yeah. No, legit. Like, I watched that movie and I was like, that's probably what I would do.
Yeah.
So, like, I can't even be mad at it.
I'm going
not
to go
supposed to even
join
be
a
at this
group
party.
and I'm going to make a bunch of cannibals.
Yeah, well,
So,
what
what are you going to be, like, plowing Channing Tatum?
Yeah, this is Channing Tatum's sweet ass, bro.
No, I thought it was Channing Tate Yum.
Channing Tate yum.
Anyway, so
I get all up in that ass.
gross. Anyhow,
So, story time. Story time. So,
story time.
Story time. So, I'm at the bar, and
I'm at the bar.
at the bar,
I'm at the bar.
and these two girls, younger girls, okay,
14, 15?
no, 21, freshly 21, just like their birthday was like 3 weeks before they came into the bar.
So basically what you're telling me is they were 14, 15 and had really good fake IDs. Gotcha.
But basically, probably, I'm not really 100%. But
Well, I mean,
regardless,
I
I'm at
realize-
the bar.
Hold on, real quick. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. Well, I do.
Yeah,
but,
I was gonna say, yes, you do.
I've noticed since I've turned 40, like I'm in my 40s now, 18-year-old girls look like they're 12. What is happening now?
That's good.
Well, no, because 12-year-old girls look like they're 35.
The hormones they
That's-
put in shit is ridiculous.
and that's a
Don't
problem.
get me started on that. So these 21-year-old girls come into the bar, and there's this sergeant in the military. He's National Guard, but he comes in there once in a while. He's a good kid. You know, he's in there pretty regularly, and we've got rapport, and we've talked about when I was in the military, and he talks about what he does, things like that. And I'm like, it's really cool, man. Good for you. Mm-hmm. So he gets these girls to come into the bar with him, and he's, of course, trying to get laid. Let's just be 100%.
Well, yeah, of course. That's what you go to
These
a bar
girls
for. There's
these
two
girls-
things you go to a bar for: get laid and get drunk.
I
Not
go
necessarily
to the
no.
bar to relax and people watch generally, but I'm off of I'm cut from a different cloth in that regard. So these girls come into the bar with this guy, and they're hanging out, whatever. Well, they come up to us and they complain because this guy is, quote, stalking them, and we know this guy pretty well,
And he's definitely not a stalker.
well, he can come across kind of creepy to some people if you don't know him or his personality. And so I tell the girls, I'm like, listen, this is who he is, this is what he does. I find out later that these girls know him, know who he is, and they know of him. Their fathers and stuff know each other. And I'm like, okay. So this is, first of all, we're starting off kind of weird that you guys all know each other, and then you're coming to me and saying, no, he's creeping you out. Okay, I think he's just drunk and talking to you because he knows you, but I tell them, I'm like, listen,
And he's trying to come
Do me a
across,
favor.
he's trying to come across something else.
I was like, I will keep an eye on it. That's the best we can do. Like, I can't kick a guy out for walking around common areas of the bar. That we can't do that. Now, if it becomes blatantly obvious, like he's hanging over him and stuff like that, then okay, we can tell him to back off and go away or whatever.
Sure.
We can do that. So then the story escalates. 20 minutes later, the story escalates, and all of a sudden now he's touching their butts. And I'm like, okay, that's not good.
No.
And so I tell them, well, okay, cool. We're going to post a couple of guys. Here's what I need you girls to do. I need you to go up into the VIP area of the bar. I need you to stay up there. Do not wander down. If you need a drink, have this kid, this sergeant, have him walk down there, get your drinks or whatever. Just stay up there. And if he follows you up there, then we will all go say something to him and ask him to leave you guys alone. This way we can 100% guarantee, because there's no back way to get there. It's you have to directly walk up into the VIP. That's the only way to get there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So if you're not supposed to be there, we'll know.
I was confused. I thought the sergeant was the one that they were talking about.
No.
Okay.
No. They came in with the sergeant.
Oh, okay. Good,
So I
good,
told,
good.
and so I tell the sergeant this. And the sergeant's getting all heated and fired up and pissed off, and he's going to beat this dude's ass. And I tell him repeatedly, I'm like, first of all, I know this guy, and you won't beat his ass. You'll be lucky if he doesn't fucking kill you and wipe the smear off of his shoe while he walks out the door. I just know that's what he's capable of doing, and maybe you should fucking listen to us and not be a total fucking dipshit and let these girls get you fired up.
Right.
Now, at one point, I got this weird vibe from one of them,
The girls?
the girls.
Okay.
And I'm like, something is
Off.
off. Now, I'm going to say some things in the next 5 minutes, and I need everybody to be perfectly clear why I'm going to say the things that I'm going to say. Number one, I'm a victim's advocate. Okay? If you ever have something happen to you, you can come tell me. 100%. I will not betray your confidence. I will not spill the bean. I will not do any of those things. I will be there. I will support you 10 million %.
That is absolutely true. I know this because I've talked to Chris about some things when I was drunk, broke down, and he has never spilled a word of it since.
Not to a soul. Not without his consent. Anyways.
Exactly.
So I will always be there for you. I will back you up 100%. I am also 100% and totally for equal rights across the board for men, women, people of color. I have no issues with anybody. So the things that are going to come out of my mouth in the next 5 minutes will not necessarily sound the most pleasant, but there's the situation behind it. Now, I didn't say anything racial. I didn't I wasn't throwing N-bombs around. I wasn't calling people, I wasn't making fun of religions or, disparaging women. I didn't do any of those things. But the way this story is going to unfold may make me sound a little bit more harsh than in reality I actually am. When it comes to the bar and the security of the bar, that's my job. And if you threaten the job and if you threaten the people in my bar, I tend to come across as I don't give an absolute shit about you, your problems, or anything that you've been through. You're causing an issue. You need to go. So Here we go. So I get this weird vibe. And I tell the security staff, I'm like, listen, I'm getting this weird vibe from this girl. I am 99% sure that little blonde is a little feminazi. And they're like, what do you mean? And so I explain. I'm like, she's not for equal rights. She's not for real feminism. She's for meninism. She wants to disparage men, put them down under boot and heel and make them kowtow. She's manipulative. She'll try to do what she wants to do. I was like, I just have this bad feeling about her. Now, I said, I'm not sure if that's what she's doing. I said, but can we just keep an eye on it? Because let's keep an eye on this guy, 100%. Do not lose sight of him, the end. No matter what. I said, because I have to be able to prove this. I said, but if this story escalates, then we'll know that they are literally pushing these envelopes to get this guy kicked out. Which, I'm sorry, I love you women to death, but this believe victims mentality bullshit, you got to get that fucking shit out of your head. Because people are fucking scandalous. 100%, I promise you, they are scandalous.
Yep.
And they will fucking manipulate you and take advantage of you and play the oh, woe is me victim card to get you to do what the fuck they want. It is a subtle form of narcissism, and it's the easiest one to fucking do.
But in fairness,
anybody can do it.
In fairness, there are
real victims. Now, you always 100% support the victim. You don't necessarily have to say, oh, I believe you, but you can say, hey, listen, I believe that you think this happened to you. I'm 100% there for you. If you need something, you need me to take you somewhere, you need me to call somebody, you can do all of those things. You can still be an ally without shitting on the truth.
Yep.
Because I may be a victim's advocate, but at the same time, I am 100% the backer of truth.
Okay.
I will always back the
Continue
truth.
with the story. We only have a limited time.
I know.
For this
So
show.
I see these guys, and I see this guy, and he's walking around, and he's talking to multiple people. He's doing his thing. He's not bothering them. He's literally just going around. Now, they are steadily escalating this situation. They are making disparaging comments when he walks by. This kid, the sergeant, is, kind of talking under his breath, but loud enough for this guy to hear him. And this guy's, I know he hears what he's saying, but he's not reacting. He's just playing it very cool, doesn't really give a shit. And it gets to this point where they didn't listen to me, by the way. So this is a very key element of the story. Those girls never went to the VIP section.
Of course not.
Like, I'm trying to help them, and instead of taking the help that's being offered, they shit on it and just started walking around the bar in all of the common areas, right next to the bar, right behind the doors of for the double doors that go into the bar.
Basically anywhere where this kid could,
This guy could just, right. Now, he's walking all over the place, and for the better part of an hour, he sits down at the opposite corner of the bar talking to a couple of his friends. He doesn't even move. He comes back over to the pool table where he knows this guy that he happened to train with. And so they're all having a good time while these girls and this guy happen to be sitting over there. And he comes up to the back. He walks through them. Doesn't touch them. Literally puts his hands up there. Excuse me. Got his drink. He comes back there. And he's talking to us. the kid, the sergeant, is standing there. And he starts shaking his ass. And he's like, oh, you want to touch some butts? He's like, touch my butt, motherfucker. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Now, at this point, the guy who's being accused of all this shit turns and looks at me and goes, what the fuck is that dude's problem? He's like, I'm pretty sure he's been kind of making remarks to me all night. And I was like, well, I said, I'll be honest with you. I said, did you touch somebody's butt? And he looks at me and he goes, I didn't touch anybody's fucking butt. Who fucking said I touched their butt? And I was like, no, I said, to be honest with you, I said, these girls right here kind of want you to leave them alone. And he goes, no problem. And I'm like, okay, cool. Now, at this point, the sergeant is still getting progressively louder.
Of course.
And getting more aggressive. He's already been warned, if you don't fucking stop, you'll be asked to leave. He's not, the guy who's being accused of all this shit isn't escalating anything. He's not even talking to you guys. He's not touching you. He's not doing anything. So if he did, in fact, touch your butt, which may have happened, but he hasn't done it since, and he hasn't talked to you, he hasn't lingered, he hasn't done any of the things that, would typify creeper behavior. So I'm like, okay, if it did happen, it's not happening now, so the problem is essentially solved, and because I can't prove he actually did something, I can't kick him out, period, at the end.
Right.
So I walk up to the kid, and I'm like... The sergeant. I'm like, listen, man. I was like, you're done for tonight. I said, you're drunk, you're being loud, you're being belligerent, I've asked you several times to stop, and you won't. I said, so let's go up front. Now, he's respectful. We've had rapport. He's respectful of what I said. And he's like, okay. He turns around and starts walking up front. Now, I start to walk with him, and I see the two girls. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, you know what? I don't want them to feel like they're alone, because the guy that they've been leaning on for, quote, protection is about to be kicked out of the bar, so I want to give them an opportunity to go with him or do whatever they're going to do. And so I tell the girls, I'm like, hey, guys, why don't you guys come up front with me, too? And the little blonde, without even fucking hesitating, turns around and goes, are you fucking kidding me? I'm getting kicked out of the bar right now? And I was like...
No, but you are now.
I was like, I looked at her and said, I'm asking you to go up front with me. And she's like, are you fucking serious? Like, still, fuck this shit. She's like, let me ask you a fuck. Now, at this point, I'm pissed. And I'm like, okay, now we're going to play the spoiled brat role. Okay. She's like, can I ask you a question? I was like, I don't want to answer it. I said, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I can't hear shit in here. It's a loud-ass club. I said, so I don't feel like standing here and having a conversation with you about it. I said, the problem is behind me, and you're wanting to still stand here. That's my problem right now. Let's go up front. So she starts walking. The other one starts walking with her, and all three of them go up to the front. I turn around. I tell the guy, I'm like, listen, just stay back here. Let us handle this. I said, I'm going to get to the bottom of all this shit. We're going to squash it. We're going to get rid of it. It's going to be fine. He's like, okay. So he stands back here. He doesn't even fucking bat an eye. I start walking up front. As I get up there, the little blonde, the brunette's standing. The brunette's standing. The little blonde is sitting down in a chair, putting her high heel shoes on, because she's also walking around a bar barefoot. So right now, her intelligence factor is 0.
Right.
She comes and she's sitting at the bar, and I said, and you know what? In fairness, I probably shouldn't have approached it this way, but I said, hey, sweetheart, what's your name? I probably should have said, excuse me, ma'am, what's your name? Like, right. I get that. Some people don't like to be called sweetheart. Right. I understand. I was like, hey, sweetheart, what's your name? And she just glares at me. And I was like, oh, we're going to play this stupid fucking game. And I said it out loud. I was like, oh, we're going to play this stupid fucking game. Okay, cool. Excuse me, ma'am, what is your fucking name? And she goes, oh, you're going to fucking get loud with me? I was like, no, but I mean, I'm assuming that you're going to respond to attitude, since that's what you want to throw around. I figured that's the language you speak best. I said, so I'll speak attitude with you. And she's like, oh, you're going to be a fucking asshole? And I was like, well, you're being a bitch, so I guess the shoe fucking fits. I don't think you're very fucking nice. I don't think you're very good at your fucking job. You're kicking us out of the bar. And I was like, you know what? To be totally honest with you, I wasn't going to kick you out. I said, but the second you opened your fucking mouth, I said, you were out the door. I said, instead of listening and following directions, you wanted to be a little smart mouth, fucking entitled, self-righteous bitch. Instead of doing what I asked you to do. And I said, by the way, I told you fucking 2 hours ago to sit in VIP, and you fucking didn't. And instead, you've been following him around the fucking bar. I said, I've been watching you. She's like, are you fucking... He can grab our ass and fucking get away with it. I was like, nobody saw him grab your ass. That literally... No one literally saw that happen. And
but we've all saw you be a bitch.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, nobody saw that happen. And I said, and unfortunately, it's not what you can fucking say. It's what you can prove. And I'm really sorry that that's the fucking case. But I can't kick a guy out on word of mouth. Otherwise, nobody would ever be in this goddamn bar. I promise. I said, you wouldn't be in this fucking bar right now. How about that? I was like, so you can just fucking go home. I said, I'm kicking him out. I was going to give you guys a chance to go with him. And she's like, no, you just don't fucking understand. You want me to get raped. And I just dead stopped, like,
What?
at that point, I went like that. I took my hands like I was taking off a pair of gloves, and I was like, okay, you dumb bitch, the gloves are off. I said, did you just fucking tell me that I want you to be raped? Did that just come out of your fucking ignorant mouth? And she's like, well, I've been raped. I was like, so have half the bitches in that fucking bar, but they don't act like you do. You know why? Because your fucking tragedy does not ever give you the right to act like a little bitch. The end. I said, if that's your fucking reasoning, then you're not ready to be in the bar like a grown-up. You can fucking leave. She's like, oh my God, I hope you know what you're doing right now. And I was like, I do. I'm kicking a fem-Nazi dumb bitch out of my fucking bar. That's what I'm doing. She's like, oh my God, I'm going to fuck you up. And I looked at her, I was like, oh wow, look at all that power. I said, you fucking kidding me? She's like, you know what? No, I get it. You're white. Mind you, this was a pasty-ass, pale-faced, fucking blonde-headed white bitch. About more German than I am.
So it was Brie Larson?
Like, whiter than that.
Oh, no.
And she looks
sorry.
at me. I mean, seriously, Casper wants her tan, bro. Like, that's... Like, he wants her ghost. So she's like, oh, I get it. You're fucking white. And I was like, so because I'm white, I want you to get raped? I said, this doesn't make any fucking sense. I said, dude, just get out. Just get the fuck out. And so the guy is trying to tell her, he's like, no, this is, Chris is cool. Like, he understands where you're coming from. Like, you're just not talking to him. Like, you're being disrespectful. I was like, listen to your friend. I said, listen to your friend. I said, you speak disrespectfully to me. Guess what? My job, and I held up my shirt in front of her. I was like, that stands for professional dickhead. I promise I'm better at it than you. So you better stop. And she's like, I'll fuck you up. She stood up and cocked her fist back. And I just stared at her and I said, I really want you to do something very, very fucking stupid right now. Please do it. Go ahead. Go ahead. And she's like, I'll fuck you up. And I was like, after what you just told me about what happened to you, I don't think you're fucking anybody up. And she just goes, oh my God. And she ran out the door. Now, for all those at home, what I did was emotionally bounced her out the door. I didn't need her to be fighting. I needed her to leave. So I said what I needed to say to get her stupid ass out of my bar. I don't give a fuck about her feelings at that point because she clearly has no respect, regard, or couth when it comes to acting like an adult. So she wanted to stoop down to childish levels and start levying threats about she's going to whoop my ass. I treated her like I treat any of my other fucking friends. I gave her a hard dose of reality and sent her ass fucking packing. So, do not engage the bartender. Do not engage the bouncers. Don't engage the owner and expect to win that battle. Ever. Don't do it. You'll lose. Every time.
Also, can I make a suggestion as well?
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Situation?
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't go around spreading accusations on people that unless you can absolutely prove it. I'm not saying that people don't actually get molested or raped or whatever in places like that.
Oh, it happens, I promise. Yeah.
Like you said, it's not what somebody says, it's what somebody can prove in this situation.
And it is, and it's super unfortunate. We cannot, and no law and no law enforcement can go by word of mouth. You can't.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so
and it sucks.
I could literally,
and when somebody
I could grab your ass,
and when somebody gives you preventative steps to protect yourself,
follow them.
Follow them. Don't be a stubborn ass bitch.
But here's the thing.
And do your own thing.
Here's the thing. I could grab your ass. You could claim that I did it. And I could say, no, I didn't. And that's generally going to be the end of it.
It's he said, she said.
It's he said, she said. Now, if
you had a history of doing it.
Yeah, if you had a history of
I'm
doing
more likely
it,
gonna
or
believe
I dragged you into the bathroom and, did unscrupulous things to you, whatever, that can be actually proven. You go,
absolutely.
You go to a hospital and say, hey, this guy did this, and hey, look, proof.
But people lob around the R word way too casually without really thinking about the ramifications of what they're saying.
Right.
They don't.
Absolutely.
And to accuse me of wanting you to be raped because I didn't fucking march to the tune you were trying to play.
Right.
That's asinine.
Yeah.
It's one of the most ignorant things I've ever heard in my entire life. And like I said, the gloves came off. Mm-hmm. If you want to act that ignorant, you're going to be treated like you're that ignorant. You are. And at the end of the day, was I a little less professional than I needed to be? 100%. Like, could I have handled that better? Absolutely. Do I regret what I said? To a degree, yes.
I am so sorry.
But for the most part, nope.
I understand that this is a very this story is very right there for you. But every time you use the word ignorant, I'm thinking of South Park. Wow,
yeah,
why
you're
are
so
you ignorant?
But regardless, I don't want to bring down the mood or anything like that. It's just a cautionary word of warning. Don't do dumb shit like that, all right?
All right, so we are going to go on a break.
That right there, yes, sir. We're going to go on a break. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
And again, we will be talking about
Spoilers.
Avengers Endgame, so if you don't want to spoil, then
spoilers.
Take a 20-minute break.
Take a 20-minute break.
Take a 20-minute break. Go get yourself something to eat. Play with yourself a little bit, whatever you're going to do.
Reach out and touch someone,
Reach out
whatever.
and touch somebody. No, don't do that, actually, because you kicked out of a bar.
Unless they, reach out and touch someone if they're willing to let you touch them.
Consent is sexy.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back on Sunday Night Madness. Spoiler alert!
From the basement of Geek Public Radio.
Shall we begin?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That was Creep by the band that I can't think. Radiohead. That's the one. Thank you. And our Crazy Chris is coming back.
Crazy Chris.
He did not wash his hands. I didn't hear water running at all.
Nope.
So
I just rubbed my hands all over the microphone, so if anybody that's coming in here after me is going to get a sweet scent of my sexy ass.
Gross. Anyway,
Gross.
So for all of you who are just now joining us, if you have yet to watch Avengers Endgame,
Spoilers again.
we are getting ready to discuss it. So
Spoil the shit out of
we
it.
are going to spoil the shit out of it. So if you want to take a quick 20-minute break and get back with us, we would definitely appreciate not spoiling the movie for you. So
Hey, they also sent me a friend request, Chris. They're not real.
who?
I know. I don't look at them.
Okay.
Who's not real?
I don't know, Candace Berman or something.
Yeah,
like
I got that too.
You got it too, yeah. If not today, ISIS.
Yeah,
Not today.
right.
So, all right.
Not
so,
today, Satan.
Endgame.
Endgame.
Spoilers in 3,
Two,
2, 1.
1.
Holy shit balls McFuck sandwich. That was fucking amazing. I love that movie.
Fat Thor.
Fat Thor was amazeballs.
We rolled.
I did. So did he.
Fat Thor hugging Little Rocket and
Little Rocket.
sticking his nose in his belly button.
That was awesome. I can smell it. No, that was pretty fantastic.
No, I think one of my favorite lines in that entire movie was, "What do you think is running through my veins?" And Rocket turns and looks at him. Cheese whiz?
No, that was Rhodey. Rhodey said that.
Oh, Rhodey said that.
It was
Okay,
Rhodey.
yeah. Cheese whiz?
What do you think is running through my veins?
Cheese whiz?
Cheese whiz? And then Rocket goes, yeah.
Hilarious.
Fucking perfect.
Yes, absolutely.
And then his mom, Thor's mom looks at him and goes, the years have not been good to you. Fucking lost my shit, dude.
Right.
I was dying.
Oh, yeah.
The cap fight where he looks
Yeah,
at-
cap on cap.
the cap on cap action.
Yeah.
Where he looks at him and he goes,
I could do this all day. I
know.
He was just so distraught about hearing that from himself.
America's,
I know.
this is, as far as I'm
That
concerned,
is
that's America's ass.
That is America's ass.
That was fucking beautiful. It was I thought it was a really fantastic movie.
Oh, absolutely.
For start to finish, like the way it started out was pretty goddamn epic.
Yeah, and I mean, a
And then
lot of people were talking about how there were a lot of like slow parts, and yes, there were. There
It's a
were
3-hour
lot of,
movie.
Well, hold on, let me finish what I'm saying. Okay, you are not Google. Do not predictive text me.
But he was right, wasn't he?
No, he was absolutely wrong. Well, I mean, he was right. It is a 3-hour-long movie. But a lot of people were talking about how there are a lot of slow parts in the movie. And yes, there absolutely are. But it's
100%.
for character development.
Absolutely.
And I understand that most of these characters have already been developed, but they haven't been developed the way that they needed to be.
All of them have suffered personal tragedy.
Absolutely.
None of them have suffered tragedy together. like there's just in a way they've never suffered that loss together, and so that's part of what the entire dynamic was them having to deal with the fact that
They lost half they literally lost half the universe.
yeah, just lost. That Thor.
No. Ant-Man, like when they were in the diner and the kids wanted the picture of the Hulk, and Ant-Man was like, "You guys want a picture of me with me? I'm Ant-Man." And they're like, they just keep looking at him like, who? And he's like, oh, he wants a picture of you. No, he really doesn't.
Tell,
he literally just said no.
He's
He
shaking
literally
his head.
just said he doesn't.
Just take the goddamn phone.
Just here, phone. Just take it.
The what is it? The cap line where he says, "Let's get this bastard," or no, let's go get this son of a bitch. And I think I was the only one in the theater that yelled out language.
Yeah, I did too.
I was like, language! Fucking theater erupted. My Dark Knight's Rising.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like when we all went to go see The Dark Knight Rises, and it started, and Chris is like, my Dark Knight's Rising, like really epically loud.
It's like, my Dark Knight's Rising.
No, it was much louder than that. It was like you learned how, like you went to drama school, and you said it for the people in the back.
I did.
You really did.
They fucking heard
and
it.
they ate that shit up.
They ate that shit up.
They ate your Dark Knight up.
Word. The Thor. When
he said
Thor.
When
I've got my cap shirt on, but when Thor.
I've got my Spider-Man shirt on.
When Thor kills Thanos, like it's toward the very beginning of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Just cut. I mean, and then they all look at him and they're like, "What did you do? What have you done?"
I went
for the head.
Well, see that was actually kind of a tragic scene. It wasn't funny. It wasn't supposed to be funny.
It wasn't supposed to be funny.
And that's what happened. He was like, he didn't realize what he did. He just lost his shit.
Yeah. It was Thor literally dealing with the fact that, and this is the thing, what I loved is at no point did the blame ever fall
on anyone.
On Starkiller. No, it fell on Thor several times. It never fell on Starkiller. Not once.
Starkiller.
Yeah. Star-Lord, Starkiller. My God,
I was like, who the hell is Starkiller?
I'm like, when did we switch over to Star Wars?
Jedi Outcast. Yeah. No, it never fell on Star-Lord. Not once. Did it ever even get mentioned? Like, Tony never mentioned it. No one ever brought it up. Rocket never talked about it.
Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
Because they all understood that. They all understood that he's
human. He's fallible.
Yeah, just 100%. Now, Thor, on the other hand, to be he's
supposed to be a god.
He was being a snarky little fucking prick.
Yeah,
so he could look Thanos in the eye when he killed him and be like, "Ha ha, motherfucker! I told you so." Try to give it that epic one-liner.
Hey, Chris, I'm sorry, I have to bring this up, but in Asgardian terms, he's a recently 21-year-old blonde girl in a bar,
basically.
So
there you go. Like, made very poor choices.
Yes, exactly.
And that's the thing is Thor was shouldering all of that. That's why he got fat. That's why he became what he became, because he was correctly shouldering the blame for allowing Thanos the opportunity to snap his fingers.
Well, here's the thing too. I mean, people kind of threw the blame around, but Natasha said it herself. She blames herself. She couldn't do anything. Everybody blamed themselves.
Yeah, everybody had their opportunity.
Blamed themselves.
When Tony saw Cap, and he said I couldn't stop him, and Cap was like, we couldn't either.
Right.
Like you couldn't, and that was the whole thing. And then Thanos said it best when he was right before he got his head cut off. He looked at him. He says, "I'm inevitable."
Yeah.
There was nothing you could do to stop me. I was inevitable.
Yeah.
And
basically looking at each and every one of them saying, don't blame yourselves for this shit.
Yeah.
This is what I did.
I did this. It was like, this is on me. And, and that was the thing about Thanos in that moment, too, is Thanos literally made sure, like, he held his conviction till the very last moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never let go of that conviction that he did the right thing.
Nope.
Not once. Like, any means necessary. Even to the point of the regret he showed to Nebula right before Thor fucking gave it to him. When he looks over at Nebula And she was like, my father is a lot of things, but he's not a liar.
Right.
And he looks and he says, thank you, daughter. And he says,
I should have. I should not have.
Perhaps I was too harsh on you. And that was the thing. He's like, perhaps I was too. And knowing at that moment, she was with the Avengers that came to kill him, and he had no malice.
Yep.
None. He just looked at her and says, perhaps I was too harsh on you.
Weird note. Who was the one that got stuck fishing the hand out of the glove?
Yeah.
Oh, right?
I think they just left the glove.
Well, I mean, in
honestly.
fairness, the glove was open at that point when he cut his hand off. So they probably just grabbed the glove and kind of shook it a couple of times.
Right, but if you know, like with suction and liquids, that doesn't really,
Yeah,
just,
not always. But
you
at
have
the
to
same
get in there,
time-
grab the bone.
But at the same time, they didn't really need to fish his hand out of the glove at all because there
it
were no
didn't have the
stones.
stones, yeah.
So the glove was just a useless fucking trinket at that point. It's like, whatever, it's a fucking glove. The
Right.
stones are gone, and we lost. It was kind of funny, though, when the 5 years later. and there
well,
was-
it's just 5.
for
and I'm like,
fuck all ever.
5 what? Years.
5.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
5 years. Okay, cool. Later. What?
Then everybody
so they did it in the Shatner voice.
In
in
New
the future.
York.
Yeah.
In
The way they flash forward, and though you and I talked about this outside, we'll wrap up here in just a couple of minutes. But the way they did that in the scene in New York, or not New York, excuse me, the way they did the scene at the very end, when Thanos, and again, we're all talking spoilers here, so
when he brought his army.
so Thanos from the past is able to figure out.
Guardians of the Galaxy
Thanos.
1 passed.
Yes, so Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Thanos, right after the attack on New York, Thanos was able to discern what the Avengers were planning and used Nebula to kind of infiltrate the Avengers of the future.
Actually, I think Nebula is the one that figured that out because she was in the middle of doing it, and she's like, "Oh, I will." Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nebula was the one that's like, oh, I'll pose as one of them, and I'll go into the future with them, and this is how I can infiltrate. And she did. Then she brought Thanos and his army of the past into the present day to face the Avengers. And, of course, the Avengers are all scattered to the fucking winds. There's just, there's Tony, Cap. At this point, there's no Black Widow. There's Ronan.
Ronan being Hawkeye.
And you have Rhodey and Hulk who are trapped underneath a mountain of the
Building.
Stark mansion.
Yeah.
They're just stuck.
Avengers.
And on top of that, Hulk is crippled. So I mean, it's a bad fucking day for them.
Yeah.
And they start that whole fucking fight sequence and shit like that, and then all of a sudden,
1,000 golden circles.
no, not even that.
Oh.
No, this was right before that. No, it was 1,000 gold circles because what's her fucking nuts didn't show up until like right at the. No, she did.
Are you
She was there,
talking
like-
about
Yeah, it was right before the golden circles.
who?
Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because she flew through Thanos' ship.
Yeah, because he was doing the reign of. No, it was after the golden circles.
Right.
Because he did it to take on Wanda. Because Wanda looked at him and she was like, "Oh no, you took everything. I'm gonna fuck you up."
Yep.
And she broke his fucking soul. That cleaver looking thing was baller. It's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
double cleaver. That was cool as shit.
I don't know. I just like you run around getting haircuts.
Right?
I
you been running around getting haircuts?
Right. I enjoy. I loved the epic keep away.
Yeah, the epic game of Keep Away they're playing with the Gauntlet.
Yeah,
The new Gauntlet.
with where Spider-Man actually had it for a while.
Yep.
Because
Run around.
my fucking hero,
Right.
Straight up.
Yep.
Oh, I'm pointing at my Deadpool hat.
Yeah, you are. I thought that was kind of funny too. Yeah, close enough. No, got the Deadpool to
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Well, no, I've got
Ish
my
club.
Spider-Man shirt on, so my T-shirt.
And his underoos.
Woo! So
And-
when they're all standing up and Thanos brings his army to the forefront and Thanos looks at him and he's like, and all the time I've been doing this, it's never been personal.
but I'm going to enjoy.
I'm really going to enjoy what I'm about to do to your stupid,
pathetic little planet.
annoying little planet. And brings out his armies and all the little cast of remaining Avengers is like,
Oh, damn.
Fuck.
Yeah.
We are so fucked right now. This is
And
gonna
then,
suck.
like, all
And then
these
the golden
circles
circles
just
start opening up.
appear, and it's just...
And like all of Wakanda comes walking
all of
out.
Wakanda comes walking up, and you're just like,
Valkyrie comes out on her flying
with
horse.
the Valkyries.
Yes.
Yeah, she reassembled the Valkyries. I was like, oh shit! We're about to get nasty.
Yep.
And here comes the fucking Wakanda. Here comes the fucking Valkyrie. Here comes all of the sorcerers. I was like, oh damn, they're about to fucking wreck some shit. And
I
then-
love the line, too. Doctor Strange, is this everybody? And Wong turns and looks at him.
You
You
wanted
want any
more?"
more?
And then at that point is when Captain Marvel comes sailing out of the sky, and I was like, that's
She was in it 3 times.
Yep. Yep. That's the best part about it. And I loved that they didn't allow her to be the one.
Right. It was everybody.
Yeah.
It was everybody. Now, it was cool. Did you catch the scene where Marvel is holding the gauntlet?
Oh, yeah. And
then
all of the women.
Spider-Man looks over and he goes, how are you going to get through that giant gauntlet? Like,
Wanda
all the-
comes up. She's got help.
and like all the girls,
Yeah,
all the women show up, and I was
absolutely.
like, all right, this is going to be fucking epic as shit.
There's actually, I don't know if you've seen this, but there is actually an Avengers team with all women on it.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
The Marvel Avengers?
You're an idiot. But
And scene.
yeah, right.
But, yeah,
okay,
no.
so
It
it
is
is
that
now
time.
9:30, so we are going to stop talking about this
Yes,
movie.
we are.
Take a break.
We can actually discuss this later on amongst ourselves some more. That way, we're not giving out anything else.
100%.
But if you're retuning in with us and you have yet to see Avengers Endgame,
Go
see
we
that
definitely recommend it. Go see it. It was amazing.
One thing, my single criticism was the ending.
Don't tell anybody about it because we are done talking about the spoilers.
I'm just saying I have a couple of criticisms, and that is my biggest one. Is the way that it all ended was a little on the shitty side. In
Right.
my opinion, I feel like
They had to wrap things up anyway.
I feel like they wrote themselves into a corner and just took the easiest cop out they could.
I
Time travel.
yeah, well, and every television show says that is the easiest cop out ever
Yes.
is time travel.
Speaking of which, we will be back 5 minutes ago.
We will be done talking about spoilers 10 minutes ago.
And we'll be back after these messages.
Bye.
Shall we begin?
Alrighty, good evening and welcome back, everybody. This is Sunday Night Madness, and we are done speaking about spoilers. For
Well,
Avengers Endgame.
we're done speaking about spoilers for the Avengers Endgame, but
Still a great movie. Go
there
see it.
might actually be some other spoilers for other movies that you haven't seen yet, like Not Another Teen Movie.
Right, we might talk about
And
that. By the way,
we're not going to say spoiler alert on stuff like that that's been out for 14 years, but
yeah. So
just be aware.
Just as for reference, by the way, whenever Con comes to town, that Chris Evans is on the panel. I'm
You're going to go hump him.
no. I'm going to take the picture.
You're going to ask. You ask for permission first.
I'm going to take the picture of him from Not Another Teen Movie with the Sunday.
Ah, yeah, the
And
banana.
I'm going to walk right up to him and I'm going to put it in front of his face. And I'm going to tell him right to his face, be like, everybody knows you as Captain America, but I know where you really came from.
That's all right.
I know your true origin story, Chris
Yeah,
Evans.
at this, I'm going to be honest with you. At this juncture, if you do that, I'm going to come in there with you, and I'm going to be like, "Oh my God, it's Johnny Storm!"
It's Johnny Storm. Yeah, and also, he was also Johnny Storm, but, thank God he was able to avoid that Fox contract.
Chris Evans has actually been in 4 superhero movies
He's been in a lot more than that.
as a superhero.
You mean he's been a superhero in 4 different...
You shut your mouth. That's what I said.
He's been 4 different superheroes.
Yes.
I'm curious. Obviously, Captain America.
Okay, Captain
Johnny
America,
Storm.
Johnny Storm. He was in, and technically, I guess this wasn't really a superhero movie, but it was a comic book movie, Losers.
Okay.
He was in Losers. And there was one other. I don't remember what it was, so I will have to IMDb it. I think Topher is beating me to that.
Probably. So while you guys are Googling that shit.
IMDb.
Yeah, so while you're doing that, really quick, while you're being escorted out of the bar by bouncers, don't ever act like you forgot how to walk, especially when you're a prick and you're taking wild swings at people. Guy was being escorted out of the bar, decided that he wanted to not know how to actually use his legs anymore.
Yeah.
And
Tell
so,
us that story.
And so he got, he was getting escorted out of the bar. He dropped on the floor like a sack of potatoes, acting like he didn't want to walk, didn't know how to walk all of a sudden. And that bouncer in front of me, he grabbed him up underneath the arms, and I said, lift him up. So I picked him up underneath his knees. We carried him out like prison extraction style. Picked his ass up, walked him to the door, binked his head, opened the door, and then 12-pack tossed him into the parking lot.
I said, well, he was in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, that's right. He was in Scott Pilgrim, so that is another comic book movie.
Yep, so we 12-pack tossed the guy. It was pretty fucking epic, and it was hilarious.
By the way, Chris, you were wrong.
I am?
Chris Evans was actually in a 1997 video called Biodiversity, Wild About Life. He played Rick.
Yeah, I feel like that was a throwaway part. Does it have a last name, or is it just Rick?
Rick.
Okay, yeah, just throwaway
In
part.
2000, he was in a movie called The Newcomers, called Judd.
Yep, again, throwaway part.
The Fugitive, Zach, one episode, 2000 TV series.
Okay. Anyways.
Opposite Sex, 2000 TV miniseries, Carrie Baston.
Oh, yeah, the last name of that one. That's awesome. Push?
Yeah, Push. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
That was technically a superhero-y movie.
Chris Evans was in a bunch of movies. I get that. I'm just saying that he was...
I think
he
most
got
of those are all
famous.
Marvel movies, like Marvel comics. Except for Scott
2007.
Pilgrim.
2007. TMNT. He was Casey Jones.
That's right, he was.
The voice.
Technically not a superhero, though.
Yeah, actually, technically it is because it's a comic book.
Comic
Teenage
books
Mutant
don't
Ninja Turtles is based off of a comic book.
You and I
Casey
both
Jones.
know that superhero isn't defined as being a comic book.
I changed it to comic book movies.
That's fine. That's just letting you know.
Oh, he was in Robot Chicken as the Human Torch.
Weird.
And Gobbo Fraggle, teacher and pilot.
So anyways, Game of Thrones is also out and about, so I have actually, somehow I avoided all the spoilers. And that was the thing about Avengers, by the way. I got the spoiler for that right out of the gate. Actually, today, I was scrolling through my Facebook before I went to the movie because I was checking some stuff. And as I'm scrolling through my Facebook, in big, bold letters, in like, the big block format that Facebook does now.
Yeah.
Right? Like in big bold letters, it said spoiler alert, and then just instant, like no spaces, no nothing. Just instantly, bam, there it was. So as I'm scrolling, my eyes caught all of it. And I'm like, no! I managed to go almost the entire weekend without seeing a single fucking thing that could spoil that for me. And then I saw the biggest spoiler.
I am very proud. I am very proud of myself. I went and saw it. I spoiled it for no one.
I haven't spoiled it for anybody. Well, technically we have now, but that's
no,
if people didn't pay
we
attention.
actually claimed spoiler alert like 14 times before
Then
we
we took a
started
break.
talking about it.
Then we took a break. Came
And
back
then
with
with
another
spoiler
spoiler
alert.
alert.
Yeah.
So we gave plenty of time. To
Absolutely.
Lots of warning on that particular
Absolutely,
note.
and if it spoiled something for somebody, that is their fault at this point.
I 100% agree with you. So I do want to give a couple shout outs really quick. Mike and his dad, a couple of friends of mine, they listen to the show and they've been craving new episodes, and they've been going through all of our old shit, like our archives and shit, and watching stuff. And apparently Mike told me his dad, I'm shouting him out a little bit here. He told me his dad, he's like, man, these motherfuckers are like Bob and Tom, man. He's like, I wake up in the morning. He goes, and I want to put these guys on. He's like, because they're funny as hell. And he's like, do you got any new episodes? He's like, I know these old ones. And so I saw him last night, and Mike looks at me and he goes, you guys got to do any more episodes, man? My dad's got a fix, dude. You got to help him out.
That's awesome.
But he told me
That's
he's been
awesome.
listening
We
to him
definitely
too. So
appreciate that.
that's so big shout out to them, man. So it's awesome to pick up new listeners, new people that see you out and about, and they know you do the show and things like this. So a big shout out to those guys. So thank you guys for listening. We really do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And if you guys really do like what we do, again, consider joining our Patreon. It's only the second time we've mentioned it in the show.
Absolutely.
I think that's a new record for us. So Patreon.
Well, we're not quite done with the show yet, so we still have like 15 more times to mention.
That's true. So Patreon.com/GP Network, $2 level, $5 level, and a $10 level will allow you to buy me a beer, buy me a shot, or get us like our it!
And Chris is the only one that's
I'm the only one screaming it. That's fucking fine with me. But that actually helps us keep the lights on, the bills paid, and keeps brand new content streaming to you live on Geek Public Radio. So the $2 level gets you access to our in-studio camera where you can join us at all the live action. Wave at the camera. Hello.
Hi.
Yep, point at Jeff's nice, sexy face right now. At the $5 level, gets you discounts on some of our sweet Geek Public Radio merchandise, as well as the in-studio camera. And $10 level gets you all of the above, plus you get the cool little shout-outs on the show. On top of that, if you're local, we might bring you in for a guest spot, and you get Q&As, all kinds of fucking crazy shit, and instant access to all of our videos.
And if you really want to, when you're a guest here, you can sit on either mine, Chris, or T's lap.
Yes.
Topher said no on that, so
Talk about the first thing that pops up, but it'll be a short conversation, so it's fine.
No, he said he had, what do you say, 8 to 10 inches of wood?
It's a lengthy topic.
This was before you got here. He was talking about, he was
building studio shit.
If you wanted to know what that's about, Topher has been building a bunch of studio stuff for the new expansion here.
Buy it. Hell, I'll build it.
Yeah, exactly. He's been building that, and he's
Topher,
like,
builder.
I need 8 to 10 inches of wood, and I'm like, well, I
got some sheep for your wood.
I've been talking to your wife, and whatever. So
that's a Catan reference for anybody.
I have no idea what that is.
That's a game. It's a sit down game. It's a building game. It's a settlement game called Settlers of Catan.
I feel like I
was trying to get you to play it a couple times.
What is his name? What is his name? Revenge of the Nerds. The big guy.
Ogre,
yeah.
Nerds. I absolutely yelled that out at the theater as well. Because when the title sequence came on, everybody starts clapping. And I was like, nerds.
Actually, very few people clapped when I went to go see the movie.
I clapped at the end of it. I
clapped at the end of it, but I felt like a retard going. So I mean, I was like literally one of 5 people in the entire theater that was clapping. It's like being the only person on a roller coaster screaming.
Oh, did you see the new Star Wars trailer, speaking of which? You saw the Star Wars trailer, right?
Dude, I saw the Star Wars trailer like 3 weeks ago.
The day it dropped. High five on that. Yes.
Which, by the way, I just wanted to point out that I showed you my new Darth Vader debit card.
Well, I didn't say anything because I wasn't about to fucking rattle off all your numbers to the.
I wasn't going to show you. I didn't show it to you for that specific purpose. I just wanted to show you that I have it. By the way, love the fact that at the very end of Rise of the Skywalker, you hear Emperor Palpatine's laugh.
Presumably.
No, that's his laugh.
Presumably, that's his laugh.
That is his laugh.
Could also be a crippled ass Darth Vader. I don't know.
There was no.
Yeah, that's fair point.
Yeah, there was no respirator. Okay.
No, that was a big speculation. I've seen a couple fan theories running around that Palpatine was the one pulling the strings behind.
Because all he did was fall down a hole.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. So did Darth Maul.
Well, Luke fell down a hole, the same exact hole.
Well, and not the same exact one.
No,
because he got picked.
A completely different hole.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Anyway,
one was a reactor shaft, one was a ventilation shaft. There's 2 totally different shafts.
Darth Maul
fell down a hole.
Darth Maul got cut in half, fell down a hole.
Also a ventilation shaft.
And after falling down the hole, being cut in half, it is now canon in the Star Wars universe that he lived and had a final lightsaber duel with Obi-Wan Kenobi on Tatooine.
Right, and got his ass fucking handed to him.
No, he actually gave up. No, Darth Maul actually quit. He was like, you know what? I just realized I wasted my fucking life. Here, kill me. Basically.
Yeah, well, spoilers.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the cartoon, sorry.
Yeah,
I haven't.
That's
I haven't
the conclusion
either.
of the Clone Wars. Right
I haven't either, but there you go.
No, but I'm super jazzed about the new Star Wars movie. I really want to see that.
Did you see Gemini Man? The preview for Gemini Man?
Yeah.
21 Bridges?
21 Bridges.
Yeah, it's got Chadwick Boseman in it. It actually looks pretty good. He hunts down and kills cop killers.
Oh, no. I didn't see that one.
It looks pretty good.
They showed a preview for I think it's a new Amazon special Bad Omens or Good Omens or something like
Yeah, where
that.
the angel and the demon are.
The Neil Gaiman
that.
story.
The new Neil
Chilling.
Gaiman story. Yeah, that looks really fucking cool.
I
They
love
got
the book.
David Tennant as the demon. It sounds just watching that. It looked like Simon Pegg, but it's not. It's Michael something or another.
Sarah?
No.
No.
Stipe?
But David Tennant plays
Jackson.
plays
Jackson.
in it.
You know what would have been perfect?
Anything that David Tennant touches is gold.
You know what would have been perfect?
What?
If David Tennant was the demon and Matt Smith was the angel.
Right? That would have been pretty fucking amazing.
Right.
Michael Sheen.
Michael Sheen, thank you. He's been in several things. He was in, I believe he was in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think so.
No, I think he was.
No, I don't think so.
My only thing
He
is,
was Hermione?
is could
Good dub.
what's his name have enough forehead?
I don't know. What's his name?
Michael Sheen.
No,
David Tennant?
David Tennant.
Yeah, he's got way too much forehead, but yes.
I don't think.
Forehead.
Whoa, bro.
That's like the 17 head.
No, so nobody in this studio has any right to talk about foreheads.
Right, but mine slopes back.
Yeah, that's
his
the same.
slopes straight up till for like another 6 inches.
Oh, so like
Like a
he's
watcher.
He's like
Nerd.
yeah, I guess technically he was built like Beavis.
Like it's
Oh my god, that's the English version of Beavis and Butthead right there.
Yeah, right.
I can't fucking unsee this. Shit, I can't watch the show. I just ruined the show for myself. God damn it.
My bad.
I mean, I love the books.
What books?
The
What are we talking about again? Where are we?
I love
am
the I love the book, but
How do we get home
I don't know.
here?
I just can't. It's weird. Everybody loves the casting, but I'm sitting back here going, it's,
Like I said, anything that David Tennant touches is gold. So,
no, Broadchurch sucked.
Wait. So basically, we're
listen,
telling
that
me,
wasn't his fault.
Chris. So
Yeah.
basically, what you're telling me is King Midas changed his name to David Tennant.
Yeah, basically, essentially, that's a good mythology reference, though,
Thanks.
for those who for those of you out there who might be educated on the finer points of mythology. Yeah, I'm super excited to see that. There's several things that are coming out that I'm really excited to see. Obviously, Christmas time, we're going to see Star Wars. I couldn't be more excited. That's going to be the final chapter too.
No, sort
Well,
of.
no, the final
It's the
chapter in the
final.
saga.
Yeah, it's the final chapter in the saga. But Ryan Wilson is actually Ryan Johnson
Yeah.
is working on a new trilogy that has nothing to do with that side of the galaxy.
I'm okay with it. There's going to be the
For some reason, I feel that that's
Boba
somebody's
Fett movie. That's going to be cool.
I feel
or
like
series, rather.
that's going to come off like
The
somebody's
Mandalorian?
Star Wars RPG game.
That's
Right.
actually not a. That's not about Boba Fett. That's actually a completely
Yeah, it's just the
different
Mandalorian, but
yeah.
it's about the Mandalorian.
It's a Netflix original series, I believe,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's going to be on Netflix. I'm
Or
excited to see what they do with it.
or the new Disney streaming service that's going to be coming out.
I really hope not, because
That's what it's going to be.
the more, and that's a partial rant here, but that's part of the thing that's really starting to bother me about
Everything has its own service.
Yeah, it's all these stupid streaming services. Like, I mean, and I get it, man. You have your proprietary you have your proprietary shows, and those are shows that the studios have created, like Netflix. Netflix has every right in the world to exclusively have these shows.
Yeah.
They do. They were one of the first on the scene to do the streaming video services, and it was inevitable that they were going to start having their own specials.
Yeah.
To the detriment of the viewer, however, they don't have the money necessary to continue their contracts with, places like Disney, and they're getting like fewer and fewer new movies that are coming out because
less and less content.
they're getting less and less,
Well,
actual
here's-
studio content and more original content, which is fine. But
I think that was the original intention with Netflix, was to build a base and then start doing their own stuff. Like once they started getting in, you've seen it.
well, yeah, they're like
boom,
$15 billion in
boom.
the hole. But the thing about it is,
Right, but
it's
people say-
but it's an investment hole,
Right,
So
but
it's-
people say that because I was watching Joe Rogan, And
The Joe Rogan podcast.
and what's his name? That one guy on there was like, "Oh, like they're getting ready to go down. They're 10 billion in the hole, or this, that, and the other."
No.
Like this, I was like, but if they have over 100,000 subscribers
Right.
at least $10 a month,
Yep.
Right.
if not more, I think it's more now. That's $1 billion a month. If you're $10 billion in the hole, that's 10 months until you're solvent.
Right.
That is less than what most people own on their house, percentage-wise of their income.
No, that's
That
100%
is a
legit.
drop in the bucket.
Yeah, but here's the problem.
And, by the way, that's
here's
a-
the problem that everybody's facing at this point. Well, it's like you were saying. Now you have Netflix, who has a certain amount of shows. You've got Hulu, who has the other amount of shows.
That's $1 million
Then you've
a month, by the way.
Then you've got
Your math was bad.
then whatever. Then
No,
you,
I'm sorry. It
then
was
you have-
100 million.
Yeah, 100 million subscribers would get them. Yes.
It is like 113 million subscribers right now for
Yeah,
Netflix.
$10 a
Then
month.
you've got the new DC service, which, not everybody has that because a lot of people don't have the proper device to use it.
Right.
And it's going to be the exact same thing with the Disney. They're going to say, okay, well, we've got this service out. You can only watch this content due to this service, or you buy our movies or, whatever on Blu-ray, DVD, or VHS, if you can still find that.
What's going to end up happening is exactly what people.
But they're not going to. It's going to be exclusive to certain devices. You're not going to be able to get it on your PlayStation. You're not going to get it on your Xbox. You're going to have to get it on your computer, your Roku, your
What's
Fire
going to happen
TV,
is you're going to
or
have
whatever.
all these channels. Mm-hmm. All right. Does this sound familiar? All these different channels. Mm-hmm.
And each
Guess
one's
what
going
they're
to
gonna-
cost you money.
Each
Yep.
one's going to cost you money
Exactly
until
the same.
until
You buy a
somebody-
package.
Bing. You're going to have a package deal where you can pay X company X amount of money.
Well, the reason
to
they're
get X packages.
yeah, but the reason they're doing
And it's
this,
going to be done by Comcast.
and it's going to be fucking cable. It's going to be fucking cable all over again.
But
It's
here's
literally
the
what's going to
thing.
happen.
The reason I can guarantee you that the reason they are doing this, the reason this is happening again, is because you do have companies like Roku or Fire TV or whatever that you can get your normal cable packages for one fucking price.
Yep.
You pay for a Roku, or a Roku TV, or a Fire TV,
Or whatever it
a
is.
Fire Stick, or whatever it is.
Your
that you
streaming-
actually
your
get,
streaming device.
Your streaming device, and then
I have a TV written there.
exactly.
I don't
Fire,
have
you
no-
got Fire TV, right?
Yep, I got a Fire TV hanging up on the wall. We sit down and watch all sorts of stuff. In fact, as I'm finishing building this thing, I'm going to throw up Game of Thrones and watch it tonight.
Oh,
right
also,
after
by
show.
the way, just a real quick thing. We're on Amazon, right? We're on Fire.
Yeah, we're on.
This fucking show
we're on
is
Fire.
on Fire,
Yep.
baby. We are on Amazon Fire. So if you got the Fire Stick, you fucking look up Geek Public Radio.
Same thing with Roku.
Yeah, same thing with that. You get your ass on there. You can look up all of our fucking shit.
Absolutely.
So you get on there right now and you check us out. Okay, so if you got the Fire Stick or Roku or anything like that, look up Geek Public Radio, and we are on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we are getting into this thing as well. But remember all this thing where they're like, oh, you got to restrict the internet. You got to treat it like a utility. You do blah, 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 blah. The reason that was a terrible idea is we're seeing the culmination of this. This is going to cause brand new competition. So people like Comcast and things like they're going to start hemorrhaging money.
Yep.
Because
because what they're doing is they are the only internet provider who has big enough speeds to stream the whole house.
which is what you're supposed to do.
Right, but then they're throttling down the bandwidth.
Yep.
So if you have all these streaming services and don't have their TV, you're going to be capped at a terabyte of the thing. And if 3 or 4 people are streaming constantly in your house, you're going to be at 2 terabytes worth of service. And that's going to cap you at $200 a month
Yep.
Oh no.
for your internet.
I'm not disagreeing that places
They're
like
not
Comcast
losing.
won't- I'm not disagreeing that places like Comcast are going to try to start putting data limitations and things like that, and make you buy bigger packages for more data and more
Yeah,
streaming. And
they
things
already
like that.
are.
Right, I understand. And they've been working on that for fucking 25 years. That's been happening.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since the internet became a thing, they were trying to figure out how they can throttle it. Hell, we're one of the slowest countries in the fucking one of the slowest civilized countries in the world when it comes to internet.
Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely true. And the reason for that is because they realize that they release it all at once. There's nothing to build on. There's no reason to entice you to continue to spend money. That's capitalism in a nutshell.
Here's the thing: like if you enjoy certain shows on like Fox or CW or whatever. All of those shows are eventually going to go to some sort of a streaming service.
And 90% of them are on their own service already. They're free.
Well, yeah, right.
Like CW, you can go and
Absolutely.
watch
Absolutely.
like
But
last 5 episodes or whatever.
What's going to end up happening is, unless these companies are still getting money somehow, they're going to stop giving out that content. You're going to end up having to put in.
They're going to sign exclusivity rights.
Yeah, exclusivity rights.
That's what they're going to do.
And
Apple Music, anybody?
Yeah, you're going to have to. You're going to have to either start paying for that service, or you're going to have to find your shows elsewhere.
Yeah,
which are going to either be on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, DC Network, the new Disney streaming service, whatever.
Well, here's what I think is actually going to happen. So Comcast is going to start pulling their throttle and ass bullshit. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, cell companies are taking the intelligent approach and saying that you can draw on multiple cellular networks at the same time.
Yep.
That, honestly, a cellular network over the digital stream can give you almost as much as a Wi-Fi connection can give you.
Yeah,
my phone can handle everything my Wi-Fi throws at it.
If you can actually, like, if you get like an unlimited data package from your whatever service,
of course they throttle too. So
well,
I mean,
they
one
do.
Big
They do,
vicious
but
cycle.
if you get an unlimited data package and the cell phone companies go to, they don't start charging any extra to use your mobile device as a hotspot. Mm-hmm. You can just drop internet altogether. Use your mobile device as a hotspot
as long as you have good service.
As long as you have good service, yep. And then Comcast is out of business
because there's several rural because internet in the rural areas around here sucks balls.
Yeah,
there are people that have done that, like they'll stream everything. They'll hotspot their phone. They'll stream everything from their phone and Chromecast it to the TV.
Right. Yep.
So the TV's hooked to their Wi-Fi and getting the input from it, and that's how they watch 90% of all their stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
And it sucks because when you get into areas where I can't get in, I don't have enough bars. You can't do that either. Right. What I'm waiting on is Elon to start launching those satellites that he's prepping for satellite gig internet.
Elon Musk is literally the modern day
Batman.
Tesla.
He's Batman.
Yeah, I mean, basically, he's Batman without any cool fucking.
Oh no,
he's
Batman.
He is literally.
He just don't let you know that.
No, he's literally the modern day Nikola Tesla because
he has flamethrowers.
He's giving out all of this really cool stuff, and he's not asking for anything in return. And honestly, if we keep poo-pooing all over him, he's going to be a modern-day Lex Luthor.
Well,
yeah, I mean, he can. He could be
what I thought was
bad guy
really
of
funny.
the world.
What I thought was really funny is that people are like giving him such a hard thing. He only pays his employees X amount of money, and he does this, and he said some disparaging things, blah blah blah. And I'm like, he literally gave Flint, Michigan, like $100 million to fix their water.
Yeah,
and
they
you guys are still bitching about it. You know why? Because that money went to the fucking same goddamn system of government that fucked it up in the first place. No one voted those assholes out of office. Of course they're not going to fix it. Why the fuck
no, because
would
they blamed everybody else.
Right.
They go, it's not our fault.
They blame the fucking governor for a city water problem. Does that make sense? What goddamn world do you live in where the governor is responsible for city water? None. Literally none. Well, the infrastructure was bad. It was bad before he got there.
Right.
It didn't happen in the fucking 4 years he was in office. I promise. Yeah, just fucking ridiculous shit like that.
On that note.
On that note, right. Are we taking another break, or are we about to wrap this show up?
It is 10. It is after 10.
It is after 10 o'clock, but I figured we get a little late start so we can...
Well, yeah, but that's your own fault.
It is your own fault. You're right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this show up tonight. Thank you guys so very, very much. And one last time before we go, consider joining our Patreon. If you liked anything that we had to say and you want to support us in a more realistic way, other than your listenership, then please consider becoming one of our patrons. And go to patreon.com/GP Network.
And please don't misunderstand that. We absolutely adore you guys listening to us. We love the fact that people do tune in weekly to listen to us ramble on about absolutely
Yeah, what I should say, if you want to support us in a monetary way,
yes,
then please consider becoming one of our patrons and join us on patreon.com/GP Network, where you can join at the $2 level, get you access to in-studio camera, $5 level, which gets you discounts on merchandise as well as a camera, $10 level, which gives you all the above, plus extra Q&A sessions, things like that. If you're local, we can bring you onto the show. We'll give you shout-outs, tell everybody how fucking amazing you are. $2, buy me a beer. $5, get me a shot. $10 is $1 wasted. And you guys can check all of that out, as well as our exclusive content, by becoming part of our Patreon network. So, again, thank you guys so much for stopping out. Big Mike and Big Mike's dad, thank you guys for tuning in. We really do appreciate it, Tasha. Lynette, anybody else that's out there listening right now. I haven't been in the chat room, and also I don't know who's talking. But as always, we thank you guys so much for stopping by, giving us your time and attention. And hopefully we rewarded you with some good, wholehearted laughs. Some things to think about, and if you've seen Avengers Endgame, hopefully you maybe agreed with our comments. But if you didn't or want to discuss it further, absolutely reach out to
Topher.
us. Yeah, Topher's the one that made it. He wrote the entire script tonight. That's why it sucked. All right, so
no, but seriously, we are going to go ahead and wrap up tonight, and we love y'all.
All right, I have been Crazy Chris.
Yes, you have. Oh, yeah, I'm Jeff, the producer.
And across from us, man in the boards, being a total badass.
I'm that guy over there.
Is that guy. Thank you guys so very much. Good night.
Good night.